Hello everyone, welcome to another series of To The Point. Today's topic of discussion is protection of women from sexual harassment, that is PoSH Act. First of all, let's see why is it in the news. Recently, the SC found serious lapses and uncertainty in the implementation of the PoSH Act 2013. Now let's discuss about PoSH Act, that is Protection of Women from Sexual Harassment Act. The Supreme Court in a landmark judgment in the Vishakha and others versus State of Rajasthan 1997 case gave Vishakha guidelines. These guidelines formed the basis for the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 Sexual Harassment Act. The Act defines sexual harassment as unwelcome acts such as physical, verbal, non-verbal conduct, a demand for sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, etc. It lists down 5 circumstances that would constitute sexual harassment: implied or explicit promise of preferential treatment in employment, implied or explicit threat of detrimental treatment in employment, implied or explicit threat about present or future employment status, interference with work or creating an intimidating or offensive or hostile work environment, and humiliating treatment likely to affect health or safety. It defines an employee not just in accordance with the company law but all women employees, whether employed regularly, temporarily, contractually, on an ad hoc or daily wage basis, as apprentices or interns. It expands the definition of workplace beyond traditional offices to include all kinds of organizations across sectors, even non-traditional workplaces. It also includes places visited by employees for work. Now let's discuss about the Internal Complaints Committee, that is ICC, and local committees or LC. The law requires every employer to constitute an Internal Complaints Committee, that is ICC, at each office or branch with 10 or more employees. ICC consists of a minimum of 4 members, at least half of whom should be women. A presiding officer, who must be a woman employed at a senior level at the workplace, 2 members from amongst employees and who have had experience in social work or have legal knowledge, and 1 external member from NGOs to preempt any undue pressure from senior levels. The complaints committees have the powers of civil courts for gathering evidence. Besides, the Act mandates every district in the country to create a LC to receive complaints from women working in firms with less than 10 employees and from the informal sector, including domestic workers, etc. Now, role of ICCs and LCs. These 2 bodies have to conduct inquiries in line with the PoSH Act and comply with the principles of natural justice stated in the rules of the Act. A woman can file a written complaint either to the ICC or LC within 3 to 6 months of the sexual harassment incident. There are 2 ways to resolve the issue by the committee: through conciliation between the complainant and the respondent, which cannot be a financial settlement, or committees could initiate an inquiry taking appropriate action based on what they find. Now let's discuss about duties of the employer. An employer has to file an annual audit report with the district officer. It includes the number of sexual harassment complaints filed and actions taken at the end of the year. An employer is duty-bound to organize regular workshops and awareness programs to educate employees about the Act. And if the employer fails to constitute an ICC or does not abide by any other provision, they must pay a fine of up to Rs 50,000, which increases for a repeat offence. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements regarding the PoSH Act, that is Protection of Women from Sexual Harassment Act. 1. It expands the definition of workplace beyond traditional offices to include all kinds of organizations, across sectors, even non-traditional workplaces. 2. The law requires every employer to constitute an internal complaints committee at each office or branch with 20 or more employees. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Dear viewers, watch this topic in Hindi on our Drishti IAS Hindi YouTube channel.